So tell us about the stonework.
Okay, the stonework is what is being called historic, but in fact it was built. All the permanent stonework was done from 1946 till now. It was started in 1946 when Floyd Acres purchased the property, and that includes the gates here. The wooden gates were replaced sometime after that, about the 1980s, I believe, but the former caretaker could give you, not the current caretaker, but the former caretaker of almost 40 years. She was here for 39 years. She could give you the dates on that specifically, on when anything was done or changed. The skylights in the main house, I supervised that when they were put in, and that was in about 2005, so roughly 10 years ago. The main house suffered a severe fire damage that was in the late 50s, I understand, and after the places were built, they were frying trout. And again, the caretaker could give you the names of those people. But the main house, then you had, and all the signs on the main house, they hinge a lot on the aspen and the redwood, and to mimic Camp David. They were actually put in place by the West Wing, and to name the buildings like Camp David. So they were never done this way until the West Wing was here to do the filming. And a lot of the landscaping around the buildings, around the walkways, light fixtures, a lot of those things were put in place for the West Wing TV show and by the TV crew. I was here and helped with part of that, and that's how I know it firsthand.
That's amazing. So you don't think that's FDR's bridge?
That bridge was actually built in the 1980s by Charlie Miller, who's deceased now, but was related to the former caretaker. And she could give you the details on that. But the metal plates were put there in late 80s, and when the name was changed from Little Hunting Creek Lodge to Trout Run.
I see.
And that was done by the former owner.
You think they used it to sort of help promote the sale of the real estate?
I think that's a lot of it. So I think that's why it was done. And I always thought the facts and circumstances that happened here were interesting, but I've actually worked on CCC work at Gambrel in different locations, the tea room, that were actually done by CCC workers. And I've supervised a lot of the stonework that was replaced, repaired, and built over the years, in the last 20 years. And I know the difference. And I think it's insulting to the CCC workers to suggest that this is equal to that work from back then. So,
yeah, look, right, because you said the gate is new. It looks like it's either been repointed or it's
right, it's been very well kept, but it was all built from 1946 forward. The first thing was done was the gates, the main house. There's a caretaker's house, we called it. The guest house is just below the main house, and then they called the Hill House, which there's another sign on. But Charlie Miller actually built the bridge that went across that's now named, and that was done in the 1980s.
So I can look at something made out of wood and felt.
Now that the trees have bloomed, it's a little harder to see the bridge and Hill House.
And William Renner would have been the stonemason and oversaw all the building for Mr. Acres.
I'm sure there's some places on it that are not that strong.
William Renner, by the way, was a personal friend and personally known by Louise Berry, who is the former caretaker that I talked about.
And she lives just up the road.
And she lives just up the road. She really took pride in the place. Really kept things up well, and there wasn't a leaf on the property. If there was a leaf anywhere around, it wasn't acceptable. So.
It's a beautiful place. There's no question about that.
What are the white things
Good.
on the right gate near the center?
Although it's a pretty place, the stonework's outstanding and all, I just don't believe that it meets the historical standard. Is my thing.